Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am doing this video to respond to a comment that I received very recently from one of my subscribers, and that comment was a question, and she asked me if I could recommend her hydrating serums since the weather is getting colder and colder. And I understood her question perfectly because I do have oily skin, but my skin needs differ from summer to winter. My overall skin can feel dehydrated, and depending on how cold it is and how dry the weather is outside and how much wind there is as well, it can feel very dehydrated if I don't have the proper routine. Now, if you buy a hydrating serum, that means that your skincare routine will be a little bit longer because you have an additional step in your routine, and at the same time that also means that you are spending more money because you are buying an additional product. You could do that, but that is not the only way. So I am gonna first talk about the only way where you don't have to spend more money. The other way to prepare your skin for the cold weather is to look at your different steps in your routine and adapt your products. I am going to take my skin as an example, and in the summertime I use this Paula's Choice cleanser, which on the website is for every skin type. I have already reviewed this cleanser on my videos, and in my opinion it is better for normal combination to oily skin. In the summertime it is the perfect cleanser for me, but I have already tried it in the winter a few years ago, and I realized that in the winter when I use it my skin feels a little bit tight, and that is not the case at all in the summertime. In the winter my skin feels a little bit tight after I'm done using this cleanser, and that is absolutely not the case in the summer. So I choose a different type of cleanser in the winter, which is more suited for the colder weather. And for me, that cleanser is from the brand Bioderma, which is also a cleanser that is made for all skin types, but I find it less harsh than this one. Another important change that you can do is obviously to update your moisturizer. There are many moisturizers that I like. No, not many. There are a few moisturizers that I like, but one that I have been using a lot in the summer is the moisturizer light version from the brand Dr. Sam's Bunting, which is perfect for me in the summertime, but it is absolutely not enough for my skin needs in the winter. So instead of adding a hydrating serum in my routine, I switch my moisturizer and I use a moisturizer still from the brand Dr. Sam's, but this one is more moisturizing. Most brands have a different version of the same product, especially when it comes to cleanser and moisturizer. They often have a cleanser for oily skin, normal skin, dry skin. They will have moisturizers for oily skin, combination skin, dry skin, very dry skin. So you can actually stay with the same brand if you like your brand, but just change the type of cleanser or moisturizer you use. Usually when you have dry skin, you tend to prefer creamy cleanser, especially in the winter. Another thing that you can do if you use active is to reduce the frequency you use your actives. For instance, if you have acne prone skin, maybe you are using a salicylic acid serum every single day. Then if you feel that your skin is dehydrated still in the winter after changing your cleanser and your moisturizer, try to use this active every other day and see if that works better for you. If you have dry skin, for instance, but you are using tretinoid or vitamin A or retinol products in order to prevent or minimize wrinkles, then you might try to use them every other day or maybe 3 times a week if you feel that your skin is getting drier or more dehydrated, because those actives can make your skin more dehydrated, especially in the winter time. Now, if you try all of that, but you still feel the need to add something in your routine, then you have the other option. Nowadays, most brands produce hydrating serums, especially with the rise of the ingredient hyaluronic acid that many people love, except for me. I don't dislike that ingredient, but I feel that it is way overhyped for what it does. But most brands have hydrating serum. In my opinion, hydrating serums are not the best option you can have for 2 reasons, maybe 3. The reason number 1 is that they are way too expensive for what they do. And I'm going to show you a few examples of different brands. Let's start with the brand First Aid Beauty. They sell a hydrating serum that they call hyaluronic acid serum, and they sell a hydrating toner that they called squalane and oat hydrating toner. If you look at the price, you can see that the serum is much more expensive than the toner. If you look at the ingredients, you'll see that the ingredient list is not that different. They both contain hyaluronic acid, which is called here sodium hyaluronate. They both contain squalane. They both contain oats. And they both contain other type of moisturizing ingredients. The difference is in the texture. Obviously, the serum has a different texture than the hydrating toner. But if I look only at the ingredient list, I cannot tell you to choose one over the other. When I look at the price, and especially the price for the quantity, because I put the price for 100 millimeter or 3.4 fluid ounces, and you can see that the toner in the end is almost 7 times cheaper than the serum. And you can do the same thing with other brands. I did the same thing with the brand SVR. And if you look at the price for 100 millimeter, which is in red here, again, it is pretty much 7 times more expensive to buy the serum, although the ingredient list is very similar. And the last example I took will talk to you more, maybe, because it is from the same umbrella brand, which is DCM. DCM produce the brand The Ordinary, which is considered to be a cheap brand, and the brand Niod, which is considered to be expensive or luxury brand. And I picked on one side The Ordinary, the hydrating serum, which is popular, and on the other side I picked the hydrating toner, which also acts as an antioxidant. And when you look again at the price for the same quantity, you can see that the Niod, the luxury brand, is cheaper than The Ordinary. Now, I'm sure that some of you would say, yes, but the serum is more concentrated than the toner. And my answer is, how do you know? You don't know. For the SVR brand, the niacinamide serum has 5% of niacinamide and the toner has 2%. But niacinamide works at 2%. So it's not like you absolutely need 5% on your skin. And the main goal of those products is hydration. That's what they sell. And niacinamide is not the only ingredients you need for hydration. All the other ingredients matter. And for a difference of 3% of niacinamide, I still do not understand why the toner is 7 times more expensive. For me, it is not worth it. I've tried hydrating serum in the past and also hydrating toners, and you have great hydrating serums, that's for sure, but you also have great hydrating toners, and in the end the great hydrating serum will always be way more expensive than the toner, because as consumer we think that the serum must be better, must be more concentrated, when it is not the case. And the case of the DCM products, the ordinary serum and the Niod mist, is a great example, because if you look at the reviews for both products, I am telling you that people love those products. But the toner, although it looks more expensive, in the end is cheaper. The second reason I prefer a hydrating toner, sometimes, especially in Japan, it is also called lotion. So the second reason I prefer them is because it is easier to add them in your skincare routine. When you use a serum, it has to work with your other products. Sometimes you use a serum and then when you add a product on top, it peels on your face. It is less likely to do that if you add a toner in your routine. And many people already use serums for brightening, for acne, for several things. So if you add a hydrating serum, then you will have two serums in your routine, and then you don't know which one to use first. In terms of texture, in my opinion, that is not pleasing. It is too complicated to add layers of serums. It is way easier to add layers of a hydrating liquid lotion or toner and then add on top your serum that you usually use. So it is more practical. It is also cheaper to do things that way. Now that you understand the different options you have and where I stand, I'm going to give you recommendations. First, I'm going to give you 3 recommendations for serums. And those serums are not dedicated to hydration only, because as I explained, for me it is not worth your money. If you need to add a serum, in my opinion, it is much more worth it if you add a serum that will bring hydration but something else. And those 3 options are 2 serums from the brand The Ordinary, which also contain copper peptides or peptides, because they will add hydration to your skin, but at the same time they will give you anti-aging or brightening benefits. So in that case, in my opinion, it is worth it. And I have tried the Ordinary copper peptide serum recently. Unfortunately, it broke me out, but I have a very sensitive skin. But although it broke me out, I could tell that my skin felt more hydrated, but at the same time not oilier. So it is a great serum that is loved by most. And the 3 serums that I'm showing here are loved by most. I've watched many people making reviews on those serums and they seem to love it. The other option, which is my favorite option, is to add an hydrating toner slash lotion. And this time I also have 3 options. Well, I have 3 brands and 5 options. The first one is from the brand Niod. I've just talked about this hydrating toner. And actually I've tried myself this hydrating toner a few years ago. And it is a great hydrating toner. There are many great, amazing reviews on this product. It was not just made for my skin type. When I used that product, my skin felt more hydrated and also more moisturized, but I also became oilier. So I realized that this was too much for my oily skin. Although I've seen people with oily skin who love this product, but for me it was too much. If you have dry skin or very dry skin, you will love this product. The other option is from the brand Geek&Gorgeous. And again, I've talked about this product very recently. That is a product that I tried myself. Unfortunately, it broke me out because of one ingredient there is in this formula, and my skin does not seem to like it, but I was able to test it and my skin indeed felt more hydrated, more moisturized. It felt plumper. So I think that this one is actually perfect for all skin type, including oily skin. The other options are from the brand Hada Labo, and it is a Japanese brand which I discovered many years ago on a trip to Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, they have a street, I forgot the name of the street. Maybe it is Beauty Street, where they sell mainly skincare products from all around the globe. So although it is in China, they sell French product, American product, and also Japanese and Korean product. So at the time, I tried the hydrating toner, and I tried two from the line hyaluronic acid, and we have a light and a moist or rich version. These lotion use hyaluronic acid, but also other moisturizing, hydrating ingredients like glycerin. And I've actually really loved those products. I loved the light version, but also the rich version for my skin. Depending on your need, you will choose one or the other option. I can actually use them by itself in the summertime, but it is because I have an oily skin type. If you have dry skin, you will feel the need, of course, to add a moisturizer on top, especially in the winter. The other version we have is from the premium collection, and this one has even more hyaluronic acid in it, and it is made really for the very dry skin or people who are more into anti-aging stuff. So that is the other option. This brand have other toners, but they target more specific needs than dehydration. As you can see, I gave you different options with different prices, but all the products that I have recommended are really good, and the one I haven't used on my skin, I've watched reviews about them and they are really loved. For myself, those past few years, changing my cleanser and changing my moisturizer with my routine has been enough to not need to buy an extra product in order to have my skin more moisturized or hydrated in the winter. So it's gonna be different from different skin needs, different weather, and depending on the routine you use. So it's up to you to try and test what is better for your skin. I hope this video was helpful. Please, in the comment section, let me know if you have tried any of the products I've mentioned, and let me know how you adapt your skin from summer, fall to winter. Do you use an additional product, or do you just adapt the product you use? I want to know everything. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.